Ruth, Tiffany, welcome to Rose Hill Garden. It's called Rose Hill because we're kind of up on a little hill here and we get a lot of breeze, a lot of wind. So that's one of the reasons why there's a lot of spinners besides roses, because I love to see color and spinning and roses. And anyway, welcome, and we're going to do a little tour of the garden. This is Linda Campbell up here, which is a hybrid rugosa. Gary usually wins with this one at the rose shows, but it is an amazing, puts out an amazing show of roses. This is one of my favorite roses called First Edition. It is so beautiful. There's Violet's Pride. Here is Monkey Business. And this one right here is almost fully in bloom, and it's called Ketchup and Mustard. What a strange name for such a beautiful rose. This is Dr. Roger English, which is a rose that I discovered as a sport of Playgirl. And it's named after Roger English, one of San Diego Rose Society's old, wonderful consulting rosarians. Roger loved roses and he loved teaching about roses. This is Distant Drums. If you want to grow a really, really fragrant rose, you should grow white licorice. This rose is one of the most fragrant roses that there are. Here's Rock and Roll. George Burns right here. Look at the trunk on that rose. It is amazingly huge. Nobody ever grows this rose because it's not really a show rose, but it's such a bright rose for the corner and people love looking at it. It's called Sundance. Chris Everett, Ring of Fire. Is that just the most amazing bloom? Chicago Peace. This is a new one called All Dressed Up, and this is Matchless Mother. This is a rose called Parole, which never completely opens up because it's so gigantically huge that it doesn't know how to completely open up. This is First Choice. Isn't that a beautiful mini? Look at the perfect form of that. First Choice. I left these on here just to show you how big they got. This is called California Dreamin'. I love the fact that this is Cinco de Mayo and it's going to bloom on the 5th of May. Is that really crazy? Janice Kellogg, what a beauty. But one of the ones I'm so happy to put by the street is this Striped Delight. Look at the stripes on this rose. Moon Dance and Playgirl and Gold Marie. Daring Spirit is sitting right here. Here is Tiffany, one of the most fragrant hybrid teas. Golden Holstein, and that is Arctic Blue, one of the newer ones from Bedard, from Christian Bedard. Isn't that just beautiful? Right next to Neil Diamond. I wanted to show you something about disbudding for show if you were going to show. So this is Showbiz, which has lots and lots of blooms on it. And if you look at this right here, if you take this one and this one and this one and this one and this one, so you're taking all the biggest blooms off, you're going to have more than you had, and it's going to just put a huge bouquet out of here. That's called disbudding. It's actually a second disbudding. The first disbudding is taking the first one off. See, that's a first disbudding. So you take the biggest one off in the center of a grouping. But then once you've done that, you come back and look at it again and you're going, okay, well, there's some more I can take off in order to get some more roses. So that's disbudding. Vodacom, some people call it plum perfect, but if you look at it, there's no disease on it and it's completely covered with blooms. Stainless steel. That one would go to show, wouldn't it? And then there's Gemini. No fragrance, but beautiful, beautiful blooms. This is the one you need to smell. John Paul II. That is just absolutely the most fragrant rose. But then there's also Wild Blue Yonder. Look at that perfect bloom. Huge! This is Mr. Caleb. I think that would go to show right now. Oftentimes when I'm asked what my favorite rose is, I will say just Joey, just because that's the one that comes to mind the fastest. There's Burst of Joy. Somehow on this rose, the colors are so amazingly magnificent. Honey perfume, Miss Congeniality, Pink Peace, and Lemon Spice, Ambridge Rose. Is that lovely? Look at the paintedness of the inside of those petals. That's Let's Celebrate. Look at the stamens on this rose. That is what the judge, when you're showing roses, that's what the judges want. Bright, fresh stamens. So beautiful. And then this rose right here is the Impressionist. Is that just blush? It's called Lipstick. It's a hybrid tea, and it looks like it's got lipstick around the edges. Tamora. I love Tamora. And then Ralph's Red Creeper. Look at the bright bloom. This rose is called Remember Me, and it was named after 9/11. There's a number of 9/11 roses. Betty Boop. The Lighter Rose. Look at those bees. They absolutely love that rose. Must be lots of nectar in those stamens. Here's Neon Lights. Love the colors of that rose. Fabulous. It's just starting to pop out. Yolanda Aragon, an Old Garden Rose. Suzanne Horn often wins with this. It is a beautiful, beautiful rose. Dr. John Dickman. This is Pretty Lady. Look at the blooms on that rose. This is Bebop. And right next to it is a new rose I just planted. It's going to get huge. That is Abraham Darby. A wonderful David Austin. But right here we've got Disneyland. This one is called Tony Jacqueline. This is Marchesa Bocella. This is a David Austin called Poet's Wife. This is a Old Garden Rose called Monsieur Tillet. This is a shrub rose called Zaid. And this is a beautiful Old Garden Rose called Rose de Roy. Evelyn Fison. This is a Floribunda by McGreedy. And look at it almost looks like they painted the edges of the rose with a darker color. That's Falling in Love. It is huge. And a new one that I've just started growing is Priscilla Burton. Look at this bright red. It's just starting to open up. It's been disbudded, so most of these, the rest of them will kind of open up at the same time. And it's called Keep in Touch. This one is called Soutine, and it's going to open up with lots and lots of stripes. So one of the things that a lot of people have been talking about right now because of so much rain is the disease that they have in their gardens with powdery mildew and black spot and leaf drop, and I've had a lot of that. And sometimes when it gets this bad, we might end up losing a rose, but for the most part, our roses are very, very resilient, and they will come back. This is a wedding party. Isn't that beautiful? Garden and Home. This is Polka, and it will start bloom. It's already starting to bloom. Golden Wings, and it's a shrub rose, and look at the stamens on that. You should grow at least one climber in your garden, and it should be 4th of July. This is Easy Does It. This is Hannah Gordon. That's Broadway. Not a show rose, but so beautiful. Pink French lace. Henry Matisse. Look at the stripes on this thing. Escapade. Linda Clark wins with this a lot. I love to be able to show in every category when we have a rose show.